Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't already know, I'm Sophia, I run Soph's Goodies, and I thought today you could come along and bake some cookies with me while I do a Q&A. I feel like I don't really share that much about my life, but I want that to change. I want you guys to know me and see the face behind the bakes, basically. I've got a list of questions on my phone, which I thought I would go through while we make some double chocolate chewy cookies. These are going to be amazing. I'm making these cookies by hand today rather than with my mixer because I'm working with a melted ingredient. We've got partially melted butter. It will be a lot easier just to do it by hand, basically. I'm going to just start off by adding brown sugar and caster sugar into the bowl, as well as my partially melted butter, and then with a hand whisk I'm just going to whisk this until it's completely combined. While I do that, I thought I would tell you a few little random facts about me before answering the questions that you guys have asked me. I am 24 years old, soon to be 25 in September. Pretty scary. I have naturally curly hair, as you can see. I don't wear it curly that often except when it's really hot. Like the weather right now is so sticky and muggy, so for me to straighten it, it just literally just doubles, triples in size. As you can tell from my voice, I live in the United Kingdom, England specifically. A lot of people think I'm actually based in America, which obviously I'm not. I've always baked because I'm actually Italian, and my nonna has always made the most like delicious cakes and bakes. It's hard to not want to bake and follow in someone's footsteps like that, who makes just the most amazing trees. Just show you what I'm doing, just mixing that until it's completely smooth. I remember like coming home from school and like the first thing I wanted to do was just make a cake or something. I was doing that every single day and I just never got bored of it, basically. It's the one thing, one hobby I've never got bored of. I've always enjoyed it. That is completely smooth now, as you can see. I'm just gonna add in a medium egg and whisk that in too. These cookies are really easy to make. You could basically have them done in, I would say, half an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer the first question, which is, when did you decide you wanted to be a baker / what inspired you to become a baker? Like I said before, because of my Italian background, I've just always loved baking. I've always loved watching people bake as well. Yeah, it's just always been something I've really enjoyed. I'll actually answer the next question because it sort of links to this. Would you ever consider setting up a business? Because of my absolute love of baking, in 2020 when we were going through coronavirus, I did actually start a baking business, which is where Soph's Goodies began. Basically, I used to sell my bakes in the post, and I did that for about, how long? 2.5 years. But as I'm sure many people who do run a business, especially baking / food business, understand, with the cost of living and stuff, it just wasn't viable to keep going. All the ingredients were just too expensive, and you have to keep your prices somewhat low so that people are obviously enticed to buy them. I feel like when, you know, ingredients are so expensive and you're not really making a profit, it's difficult to keep going, and I did eventually have to shut down. I was also finding it very stressful because I ran the business solely on my own. So I was not only a baker, but I was also managing sales, marketing, content, making sure that people could see what I was selling, also packaging the bakes, sending them off. So it was a lot. I was basically turning my house into like a warehouse. I didn't really feel like I had a good work-life balance. I never stopped. I literally never stopped. I'd be packaging bakes at like midnight. So it sort of took the love out of baking for me, and at the same time I was also trying to do a degree. I forgot to mention that earlier. I was doing a law degree, which is really random because I don't use it now, but yeah. Scared me. As I was saying, financially, emotionally, just running the business, it was very stressful. So I kind of temporarily lost the love of baking and I needed to just take a break. I thought that was going to be the end of my account, so I was really upset because I like worked really hard and like gained a little bit of a following. I think I was at like 10,000 on Instagram, maybe like 50,000 on TikTok, which is insane. So I just didn't post on those accounts for like 6 months, a year. And then I decided, because I still obviously loved baking and that love was coming back after not baking for such a long time, I decided to just start posting content as like a hobby / like a content creator / influencer, and see if I can make it work that way. And I've just been so blessed that since then it actually has been able to come true. My full-time job is basically like a baking influencer / content creator / recipe developer. I develop recipes. I also work with brands. Yeah, so it's amazing. I'm going to put the flour and the cocoa powder in now, and then we are going to use a spatula to hold it all together. I'm kind of annoyed that you can't see this. Let me see if I can change the angle. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Do you come up with all of your recipes? Yes. So I basically am always trying to think of like new ideas. Like I'm walking around the streets and if I get an idea, I'm writing it down straight away. I've got a massive list on my phone of just baking ideas. Sometimes I'll go on Instagram or TikTok, and if I see a bake that I like the look of, I might do my own twist on it. I don't really like to sort of do the same as other people, but obviously sometimes that can't be avoided. Like people end up coming up with the same ideas. I like to try and keep them as unique as possible. Someone's also said, do you think you will ever sell your cookies anywhere? No, not, unfortunately not. Unless obviously I was able to sell them in like a shop like Selfridges or Harrods, maybe that would be like a dream of mine, but I won't be selling them again in the post, or I don't have like a market stall. I used to do all that kind of stuff, but it just was too stressful. Anyway, I do actually prefer just sort of baking as a content creator. It sort of takes the pressure away rather than like having to have a certain amount of orders and stuff. This is what we're left with. It's a nice soft chocolatey dough. Someone has said, how can I get into baking? That's a very good question. The first thing I would recommend that you do is just check that you've got all of the basic equipment that you need to get started. I've actually made a video in the past called 10 pieces of equipment that you need if you're getting started with baking. I will link that on the screen and in the description. Basically just make sure you've got all the basic equipment, like big mixing bowl, some spatulas, hand whisk. If you would like to go a bit further, get an electric whisk that looks like this. You can go like that, or you could get a big mixer like one of these if it's in the budget. These things are literally my babies. I love them to bits. They make baking so much easier. Next thing I'd recommend that you do is start off with simple and easy recipes. Don't run, what's the word? Don't jump before you can run, or don't run before you can jump. Don't basically overdo it and try and do something really elaborate if you've never baked before, for example. So I would recommend starting off with something simple, like a simple chocolate chip cookie recipe, a simple brownie recipe, maybe a simple sponge and simple buttercream, things like that. Once you've mastered the basics, you can start going further and further. You can start doing things more elaborately. You could try like an NYC cookie, maybe a loaf cake. Also, don't be disheartened if it sometimes goes wrong. We've all been there. I've had to chuck some of my bakes in the bin, they just haven't worked. I used to be so bad at making brownies, like I never made them fudgy and I just didn't know why. But the one thing I can say, which is a bazillion% true, is practice makes perfect. The more you practice something, the more confidence you will gain and the better it will turn out, basically. I could basically make brownies with my eyes closed now, how many times I've done it. You can get to that stage too, just don't give up. If it goes wrong, don't think, oh my god, I'm such a terrible baker. I don't believe that that is the case for anyone if you practice. Like, if you follow the recipe to a T, that's another good piece of advice. Just always make sure you just follow the recipe, read it through before you actually start baking. Just take your time, don't rush, because that's when mistakes happen. Go slow, enjoy the process, and it will more likely turn out well. But if it doesn't, then you know for next time what to do differently. Don't be disheartened, because it happens to everybody. Honestly, it will happen to the best of chefs, best of bakers. Something will go wrong. I feel like patience, what's the word? Patience is a virtue. I'm actually making these cookies for one of my close friends. It's been her birthday in the past week, so I thought I'd make her something that she's going to enjoy, because she loves chocolate. Like, that's why I've gone for chocolate ones. She will definitely enjoy these. What I'm going to do now is basically chop up some bars of chocolate, which I'm going to add to the cookies. This is going to make them really chunky. You can use chocolate chips that are already made. I just don't have any of these in the house, but I would probably use those if I had some. But I also like how these ones turn out when you've got big chunks in there. I feel like you can't go wrong with that sometimes. So while I'm doing that, let's answer the next question. If you had to choose, what would be your favorite dessert you've ever made? I would say it's brookies. I've done Magic Stars brookies, just plain chocolate chip brookies, Oreo brookies. Oh my god, they were amazing. The flavors taste so good. You've got that fudgy brownie and that crunchy, chewy cookie. I do also like my NYC cookies, as you guys know. I make those a lot. Anything cookie related, I'm there. And brownies, basically. Who's a baker you'd want to collab with one day? That would probably be, it probably would be Jane's Patisserie or Fit Waffle. Like, those are some really popular big UK bakers that I've always looked up to. I've actually met Jane as well, and she's lovely. That would be quite a good combo. I feel like we could make something good together. Oh my god, I'm getting really hot. It's so sweaty today. Okay. That's all the chocolate cut up. We've done white chocolate and milk chocolate. I'm not really a big fan of dark chocolate, so I don't really ever have it in the house. Okay, so we're just gonna mix these into the dough now. And the great thing about these cookies is you don't have to actually chill the dough. It just goes straight into the oven, which is so exciting. So, next question. Have I ever been on live TV baking related? No. I'd absolutely love it though. That's literally like, when people say to me, what's your dream? What's like your aspiration, your goal with your career? It's that. My absolute dream would be to be one of the judges on the Great British Bake Off. That would literally be a euphoria to me. I would have just been like, that's it. It can't get better than this, basically. Okay, this dough looks incredible. I might have to pinch one of these for myself. It'll probably make about 10 cookies, I would say. We're gonna portion this out with a little cookie scoop, put them on baking trays and get them in the oven, which is so exciting. Someone has asked, what is one goal I would like to accomplish in the future? I've got a little ice cream scoop with some cookie dough on it. I'm just gonna put that in my hand and roll that into a ball. I try not to make these too big because they're no chill, they will spread. So we don't want them to be huge because we're also gonna mold them into circular shapes if they sort of don't go that way on their own. The one goal I hope to achieve in the future, I would say it would be to have a physical cookbook in bookstores, just like a book that you can get all over the world, like a physical book that you can hold in your hand, have it in your kitchen. That would be my dream. Sign to a publishers and get a book out there. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm always hoping that it will in the future. That is my one dream. Keep your fingers crossed for me. This is how I put my cookies on the tray. I put them sort of like that, just so that if they do spread, they're not gonna all get stuck together. What do you like to do when you're not baking? Good question. I like to walk. Sounds kind of weird, but I absolutely love going on walks. Me and my partner do a daily evening walk. I just think it's so refreshing, especially when you work inside like I do. I love reading. I've just finished reading the Bridgerton series for like the second time. I love Jane Austen. So at the moment I'm rereading Twilight, which is just the best. Like, it's so good. I like cooking as well. I like trying out new recipes. I like going thrifting, charity shopping. I love doing that, to be fair. I've thrifted a lot of things in this kitchen. Anyway, I'm gonna put these in the oven now for like 8 to 10 minutes. And then what we do when they come out of the oven is we get a cookie cutter larger than the cookies, and we sort of just like do that, and it actually makes them into the perfect circles. It's such a good baking hack. I'll actually show you it in motion when they're out of the oven. But yeah, in the meantime, more questions. How long does it usually take you to make a dessert? So I feel like it will vary, because if I'm filming a dessert rather than just baking it for fun, the time it takes is completely different. So if I'm making like cookies that I'm not filming, that could take like 10 minutes, but if I'm filming it, it could maybe take half an hour before they're baked. So I would say like per bake for social media, it would take an hour a bake, I would say, in total. I enjoy the filming process. I really like getting all the different angles. Also, my curls are so annoying because some of them are like longer than others, but then when I have my hair straight, my hair's all the same length, so it drives me mad. Will you be releasing a cookbook? Do you have a website? Wish I could release a cookbook, but at the moment I currently do sell ebooks, so you can get all my recipes in one place as a big PDF that you get sent to your email address. You get unlimited access to that, and you also get access to all my new recipes when you buy it, because you get given updates. Here we go. They look so nice. We want these nice and flat. And this is where the hack comes in. Just gonna get the cookie cutter and maneuver it to get these a perfect circle. So I'm gonna let these cool down, put them on a rack, and do the rest of the cookie dough. Let's move on to the next question while I put these on a rack. Someone said, what is my favorite salty thing to make? I'm more of a sweet tooth in regards to like snacks, but I do love salty food. But yeah, I don't really know the answer to that one. I guess like broth. I love like chicken broth, ramen, and I always have that really salty. So that's probably my answer. Next question. What time do I prefer to cook? It's mainly what time I can get the best lighting. So I would say I'm always doing it between like 11 to 4. In the winter, it's absolutely dire. When it goes dark, I am screwed and I struggle to film. If I like to get golden hour shots, that will depend on what time the sun's out. 4 to 5. I don't usually tend to film after that. What's my favorite food? Ooh, it's pasta. Very classic Italian of me, but the truth is I am absolutely obsessed with pasta. I could have it for breakfast, lunch and dinner and dessert. So the final question I've been asked is, can I show myself a bit more in my content? And that is definitely something I would like to start doing. I have always been a bit like camera shy, but it's weird because in real life I'm so hyper and bubbly, but as soon as the camera's on I'm just like this. Like, I just don't know what to do. I am gonna work on that. That's gonna be like something I want to practice more this year. So you can expect to see a bit more of me. And if there are any specific videos you would like me to make, like long form and short form, just let me know in the comments of this video and I will do my best to get them filmed. I really want to start getting more into like long form videos like this one. So any ideas are greatly appreciated. I am just gonna wait for the final cookies to come out and then we will do a little reveal of what they look like close up. Okay guys, here are the cookies. They smell absolutely insane. This is what we've got. Chewy, chocolatey, fudgy cookies. I'm really happy with how these turned out. It's like the perfect round cookie as well. I think my friend's gonna be happy with these. That does complete the Q&A get to know me session. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about my life and getting to know the face behind the channel. I promise I will show myself more often. I will hold myself to that. And like I said earlier, if you guys have any video ideas you would like me to make, just let me know in the comments. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.